What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios. Back at it with another debate episode. Today is a very interesting day because this is the first time I believe we are integrating a Pokemon in the debate series. I thought it would be an interesting twist, and so we're going to be talking about Godzilla, in this case legendary Godzilla, versus Charizard. So I'm actually very excited. So we'll just begin with Godzilla, we'll go over the backstory, we'll basically analyze both of these two giant, I guess we could call them kaijus, right? They are indeed monsters. And then we'll do the death battle. So without further ado, let's begin with Godzilla and then we'll move on to the Pokemon, so it'll be quite interesting. So Godzilla is an ancient alpha predator who was awoken by the nuclear bomb. It protects Earth as the ultimate force of nature, and obviously this is for the legendary Godzilla only. Abilities, we're going to do a quick skim, we'll come back to it, I'll do a deep analysis of every ability, so do not worry. But quick skim for right now. He has Atomic Breath, he has Combat, and that's, we have to unfold the Combat because there's a lot of things in Combat. Agility and the Burning ability. Moving on from there, Territorial level is maximum, aggression is maximum, Biome is Earth, and the height, I'm going off of 2021, the newest version of Legendary, which is approximately, if not exactly, 120 meters tall. Alright, let's go back to the abilities now. Now, the first one we have is the Atomic Breath. It is the nuclear pulse inside of the body. It is a powerful ray-like laser type thing. It's not really, and I'm saying this for people who don't really know Godzilla. If you've seen Shin Godzilla, it's not like that. It's not like a laser as in like the purple laser. It's more like the traditional, say 1984 type of atomic breath, but obviously more fire-ish thing to it. It is blue in color and it is one of the most powerful atomic breath that Godzilla has, and I'm speaking for all the incarnations. It is a very powerful atomic breath. Now, going on from there, Combat. By far, and this is actually going to leak into the next ability, which is Agility. I'm just going to talk about both of them right now. By far, I've seen, this is one of the most agile Godzillas, excluding Zilla. I'm not really going to call him a Godzilla, although I know he's been kind of accepted, but some people still don't consider him to be Godzilla, so we're going to leave him out of the picture. In general, though, definitely legendary Godzilla. Out of the 2014 era, he is one of the most agile Godzillas I've ever seen. Fast-paced, quick, especially in 2019, and then in 2021 against, Godzilla vs. Kong, he was very, very quick. So he's very agile, he's quick. In combat, he's great in physical combat. He can kick, he can punch, his tail whip is deadly. I mean, it is on point. He knows how to do physical combat, and it's deadly. He can kill, he killed the Mutos like that with his tail, right? In 2019, he really messed up Ghidorah. Although he did get some help from the nuclear pulse with the burning ability, which we'll get there, but he did definitely lay a hand on him, especially in the water. He is the most effective in the water. But obviously on land, he is a very good fighter as well. Now, going on from there, we have the burning ability, which I slowly talked about. And this one is interesting because it requires two catalysts outside of him. He himself cannot go into a burning state if the first catalyst is a nuclear bomb is hit into him, meaning he needs to have a more nuclear radiative possession inside of him, more than he already has in his physical state, and he needs the complete physical energy of Mothra. So basically she has to die and give all of her energy to Godzilla. And once that's accomplished, Godzilla will go into something called a burning state, where he is just in extreme temperatures and his atomic breath changes and he just shoots fire out of his body and everything just melts that's basically right next to him, and that's how King Ghidorah was absolutely melted alive. and this is one of the most powerful abilities I've ever seen. Actually, it's a take from the original Burning Godzilla, but it is a more powerful version, because the original Burning Godzilla dies. This Godzilla doesn't die from the burning state. And in my opinion, even though they're both one of the most powerful, it's going to be a very difficult battle to talk about which one is stronger, because they are both extremely powerful. But I can say that one of them does not die from the burning state, and one of them does, right? Now, obviously the one that dies is one from 1995. Now, going from there, that is basically going to sum up Godzilla. Let's move on to the Pokemon Charizard. Alright. Now, Charizard himself is a flame Pokemon who is basically a dragon that can fly and hunt its opponents down. Abilities, now there are many abilities, but I've also noticed that there's different versions of Charizard. This is like the regular adult version. So he has the fire, or you just call it the blaze ability. I just call it fire blaze. And he has the physical attacks. Simply, he can hit and do all that stuff, right? Tail whip and all that good stuff. And we'll come back to it and talk about it. Territorial level is medium, aggression is maximum, biome is earth. Now this is where I had to make a distinction, as in I had to make a choice. Now, in general, Charizard's height is 1.7 meters tall, and Godzilla is 120 meters tall. Now, I hope you could see the problem there. And realistically, with this scenario from Pokemon, it's basically it's an ant compared to an elephant when we're talking about it. So I went ahead and did a modification to Charizard. And what I did is I made him bigger, just for the sake of this debate. So we're going to say, just for it to make sense, in the story that Charizard was actually introduced to nuclear radiation, and he grew bigger. And so he stands at approximately, now I have moved him up from 1.7 meters to 75 meters tall. So they didn't make him too big, but big enough to say that it's at least a fair fight against Godzilla. So everything, I haven't changed the abilities. The abilities are the same, it's just the height at 75 meters tall. Alright, now let's go back to the abilities. Fire Blaze. It's simply like a fire that, a dragon shoots out. It's not an atomic breath, but it's like a fire breath, if that makes any sense. It's just pure fire, but it's at very, very hot temperatures. And then physical attacks, he can use his wings, he can use his tail, he can use his hands. He also, in terms of physical attacks, he's very good with sharp claws. He has very sharp claws, and he uses that to attack his opponents. Now, that is basically Charizard for you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the part we've all been waiting for, and that's Death Battle. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a best out of 2 in a battle sequence, close range and far range. Now the reason why I do it exactly the way I do it is because far range actually tests these opponents' abilities out. When some of them are limited, we'll see who can still accomplish a victory if some of their abilities are limited. That's what far range does, and it's such a good way of testing them out. And then close range is just simply all-out war. So we'll do far range first. The rules are they must be 700 meters apart. So that means there is absolutely no physical contact. Zero, nada, right? So let's just talk about Charizard. In terms of Fire Blaze, yes, he can use that for far distances. It's a far distance battle, we're doing far range. However, in terms of physical attacks, he can use none of them for far range, because remember, far range has absolutely no physical contact in the battle. Okay, now let's move on to Legendary Godzilla, or we could just call him Godzilla 2021, whichever floats your boat. Atomic Breath, yes, it can be used. Combat, absolutely not. Agility, I mean, yes, agility is not a specific ability for far or close range, so yes, he could stay agile. And the burning ability can absolutely be used. So basically, Atomic Breath and burning ability are the main ones, and for Charizard is the Fire Blast. Now, in far distance, I personally believe that Charizard in this case is going to be the intruder. And, you know, Godzilla being a force of nature, he basically protects Earth. Doesn't protect humanity, but protects Earth. And in this case, I feel like he's going to be the first one to attack. Obviously, the Atomic Breath is going to be very, very powerful against Charizard. Now, Charizard is 70 plus meters tall, 75 I said. And so, it's going to do damage, not too much when Charizard, but the only thing Charizard really only has, in this case, the Fire Blast to use against Godzilla. And even though it could do damage, it's not really going to be at bat. I mean, again, it's coming from a 70 plus meter tall dragon, but again, fire is not really something that does damage to Godzilla. Instead, it's just going to piss him off even more. And assuming that everything is equal, that every ability can be used in this arsenal, that Mothra does give him full energy and the nuclear blast is done, the burning ability is going to absolutely fry up Charizard and he's going to have absolutely no chance, and therefore Godzilla is going to win in far range. Okay, now, so it's 1-0, but let's go to close range where everything is just open. Now, let's take this into consideration. Godzilla is 120 meters tall. Charizard is 1.7, right? We moved him up to 75. Again, Godzilla is still bigger, so meaning when they do go in a physical brawl, they're gonna ram into each other, and Godzilla is gonna be bigger, meaning he's gonna have more weight, more girth, just more toned, more physical appearance. Just physically, he's gonna be bigger, is what I'm trying to say. And so he's going to absolutely ram Charizard to the ground. Now, assuming Charizard starts flying, which we're gonna assume that's gonna happen, I believe Charizard is gonna start flying. And Charizard really is going to be relying on the Fire Blaze and the physical attacks, swooping in and just clawing Godzilla's face and all that stuff, and then using the fire. However, in this case, Godzilla has a big arsenal. The biggest one when he's flying is the tail. Godzilla's tail is very long. So whenever Charizard gets close to Godzilla, he's going to be tail whipped out of the air, and he's going to get slammed to the ground. And once that happens, Godzilla is a brutal monster on the ground. He's gonna claw the flesh out of Charizard, just taking the organs out and just completely killing the thing. You know, with the Atomic Breath and the combat with Godzilla, Charizard, and even if we don't talk about the Tail Whip, Godzilla can always use the Atomic Breath to throw Charizard off of the air. And so he doesn't really even need to go to the extent of going to burning ability in close combat. The Tail Whip and the Atomic Breath itself will destroy Charizard. So in this case, it's again, even I tried to make him tall and as big as, or similarly as big as Godzilla, close, not exactly, it's still not good enough. So in this case, Godzilla is gonna win with a score of 2-0. Now let me know what you guys think. Obviously, it's just my opinion. If you saw a different outcome, let me know. Debate with me in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great and wonderful day.